Market Street, eh? Well, this looks like everybody. These are the protesters. This is not the fun part of journalism. Have to admit that I still find the vandalism of Hayden's apartment puzzling, but these protests have been entirely peaceful. Human Revolution, regardless of the flimsy philosophical ground they stand on, are not a group known for projecting their ideology through intimidation. The more I research them, the more I have to admit the statistical conclusion that we're either dealing with a deceptive covert operation scenario or, less likely, a radical splinter group. Still, I doubt it'll hurt to ask around. Brian is there in the center. Fairlight said that he was the one to talk to, and my mesh searches confirm that he's the leader of the local Human Revolution organization. He's a bit of a player on the national scene, but he seems charismatic and camera conscious from the video clips I've reviewed. Perhaps we can use that to our advantage. That looks like the guy. Got some sign holding people. Police ROM, just in case. Stay pure. That's a weird slogan. Are they selling some kind of ideology here or water? Because it sounds like they're bottling water. Okay. Business card. Hello there. Would you like to hear about the dangers of our country's unchecked use of genetic modification? I have pamphlets. Here, take one. So, I figured if I flashed him the card that was like, yo, Fairlight's got my back, maybe that would get somewhere, but probably the same as talking. Let's come in. We can come at him as a friend or as a journalist. This is a very different. This is a very big choice. Something that we'll get two very different answers out of him. And I feel like with what we were being told earlier, that's tough because I want to talk about something very specific. I guess it's not that specific. Let's speak on the record. Let's get him to perform. We'll get Brian to play. I always have time for the press. We in the Human Revolution just want to get the word out. Have people really think about the technology they use every day and decide if they're better off. What questions can I answer for you? That is a very apolitical answer. And that does not mesh with, the stay pure ideology. Why protest at this clinic? Genetic modification is one of the most dangerous sciences we've ever fooled around with. It's playing God on the highest order and threatens to unseat what it means to be a human altogether. Cybernetics is a dangerous path as well, selling off pieces of ourselves bit by bit for mechanical strength and resilience out, but at least a brain-controlled android is still a human brain in a metal box. And is genetic modifications not still a brain inside of a fleshy box? Just with different fleshiness? There's a reason Congress enacted laws prohibiting highly modified hybrids from breeding. It's a weird line. So Brian is using the government as a backer for the politics that they do identify and align themselves with versus the politics they don't. Now, I don't fault the individuals who come here for treatments, many of whom would be crippled or dying without advanced genetic modification. See, here's the line we're walking. However, we must take a stand against the medical research industry that would have us all cast aside our humanity for their miracle cures. Isn't that like the FDA job? Isn't the Food Drug Administration that their actual job to do things like this? Why do you need to be here for that? How do you plan on enacting the social change you want? At our core, we're a peaceful movement, and seek only to convince people to vote according to the truths we revealed to them. The Human Revolution has faith that American democracy will win out in the end. That is not a way to manipulate American democracy. Because people don't like being told what to do. That is a poor way to do it. It only falls to us to make sure the people are informed about the daunting and confusing technologies they put their faith in unknowingly every day. On a personal level, we would like to exhort every individual to try to live more simply and reject any gadget or medicine that would make us less than we are. That makes negative sense. Like there's sense, and then this is like the inverse of that. What are the ultimate goals of the human revolution? This guy's exhausting to talk to. We hope to make the country more conscious of the technology we're developing and make a move away from the more dangerous sciences before it's too late. We used to say that splitting the atom would surely bring about the end of humankind. But now we're flirting with changing the very things that make us human. That puts us on a far more dangerous course without a rudder to guide us. So the problem here is that they don't define what it means to be human. And so it comes out to be like flesh makes us what humans are. And no one would agree with that. No one would be like, yeah, I've got this kind of skin as opposed to another kind of skin. Yeah, that's what I define myself based on the skin I wear. Like, no, that's not what makes us human. That's not what makes us people, right? Because that runs tons of problematic lines. Brian's gross. Brian's politics are gross. Brian might not be gross. This is all on the record, so he's performing, right? This is his little Elvis getup. He's like, I think that you gotta keep your skin the way you are, not take drugs, and stay abstinent, and not have a life, and not identify how you want to be. The revolution we want is for humanity as a whole to decide that the best course for our species is to remain as we were created, and return to living in simpler times with simpler tools. We have reports of a break-in at the home of a parallax researcher, with human revolution graffiti at the scene. Do you have any comments? Well, the human revolution certainly doesn't condone such actions at all. We're a peaceful organization, and threatening people is not going to earn us hearts and minds. Lines up. But, off the record, some of our younger members can be a bit overzealous, as any hot-headed teenager tends to be. Can you do that? I don't think you can mid-interview be like, oh, this is going to be off the record? I think I'm the person who says when things get to be off the record or not. I'll look into this matter personally, and if I discover that any of our younger members were involved, they'll be turned into the proper authorities. A little community service might do them some good. Now, not to cut this too short, but I need to get back to my people. I hope I've answered all your questions. Yep, Turing's getting me back into that hard-boiled investigative journalist thing. You're like a hound on the hunt, sniffing anywhere you think something might turn up. Hopefully we'll get lucky enough to turn up on a new lead, even if this one didn't pan out like we'd hoped. What do you think about what he said, Turing? As a little baby AI. I think he was considerably less deluded than my searches on the meshnet led me to believe. I mean, if he was telling the truth, yeah. He's just acting, so it was kind of all a play. Oh, well, he didn't appear to be lying, but I'm not equipped with interrogation sensors. You have more experience with this than I do. Do you think he was telling the truth, Solon? Through his teeth, Turing. Through his teeth. I don't think he was telling us everything. I'll continue observing you and try to discern how to read people as we question them. Useful skill I find myself sorely lacking in. Lead on, Solon. Don't forget, we're still here to actually break up these protests. Let's see if we can figure out a solution together. Make sure to look around and think carefully. I'm sure we'll find something. Okay. Obviously we can break things up with this weather ROM. And there's a door here into a local Hassy bar. Okay. Let's see if we can talk to Brian off the record about the business card. Oh, yes. You know, Fairlight, how's he holding up? Dang, that didn't work. Okay. What's up, guy? I'm here to ensure the protests remain peaceful. Cool. How about you? Friendly Weather ROM. That's not two's company, three's a cloud. This kind of ROM requires an RFID key to access it. It appears to be owned by the nearby Hassy bar. Okay, let's see if we can find ourselves a RFID chip. There's the Hassy bar owner. Customer. And a poster for Duck Game. Duck Game began as a traditional video game, which didn't come out this year, but has recently become a popular VR sport. Oh, such simple beginnings. There's a poster for Magical Commander Yukino. And a business drama called Tomorrow's Tears. And is that a feature documentary exploring the queer side of virtual reality? Hey, it's gaming color. Cool. So festive. This is the most picturesque Christmas tree imaginable. Its branches are perfectly spaced. Every decoration is placed meticulously. Let's talk to the owner, or whoever's running the place. Yeah, this is the owner. Cool. Seems bored. Since there's a ROM that handles all the ordering, there's not much for her to do right now. Oh, that's the cutest little ROM you have there. So, Moe, I haven't seen that model before. What kind is it? It's a custom model. I'm just saying. Not sure. The mouthy kind. Alright, we'll Han Solo into this. Yeah, some of these ROM VIs can be pretty chatty. We got it good! Maybe you could get another personality profile for him? Though a nice one will set you back a couple 100 credits. Anyway, what can I get you? Drink, maybe some information. Drink I can do, and I guess I have some time to talk. Protesters outside the clinic are driving off a lot of my regular customers. Filling up my bathroom too. Jerks. So what do you want to know? You called Turing Moe. Let's dive into this. Sorry, otaku speak. I just think he's really cute and lovable, and you kind of want to protect him from everything, know what I mean? He's super Moe! A lot of otaku come around here. Probably because I own the place. I'm used to being able to shoot my mouth off and not explain all of the jargon. Otaku is in Japanese cartoons. Yeah, no, it's a bit out of fashion, and I do keep up with all the newest VR dramas, but I'm a bit of a history buff. You gotta understand the past to really get the stories of the present. You know what I mean? I've been to Tokyo twice. That's 2 more times I've been to Tokyo. Japan is strange. It's very conservative and resistant to cultural change, even among the otaku. Akihabara is pretty much untouched from the early 2000s, even after the rise of the home printer. They just like making the pilgrimage to buy handmade figurines instead of printing them at home. The old otaku resist the new culture of the saishi in the same way their parents refused to give up cassette tapes. This seems a little anachronistic, but I'm having fun. It's a fun conversation. Let's go further down this rabbit hole. Old little Han Solo here. Oh, sorry, the Saiba Shibito, the Cyber Dead. Okay, now we're getting cool stuff. It was the early 21st century. Japan had an epidemic of chronic shut-ins, and the rise of direct link virtual reality only made that worse. Suddenly, people weren't just refusing to leave their rooms, they were refusing to leave their heads. It was just about the worst-case projected scenario for the aging Japanese populace. But as the technology got better, the Saishi were the first to figure out how to use their own brains to sculpt cyberspace. Computers are good at thinking in straight lines, but the human brain is capable of so much more. The best virtual landscapes, the most real VR dramas and games, are created by the Saishi. So they got rich. So even if an earthquake or a meteor or whatever leveled Japan, they'd still have Neo Tokyo built on the VR net. Other countries are trying hard to keep up, both by training their own VR sculptors and researching more brain-like processing technologies, but the best stuff still comes out of Japan. But enough babbling. Holy crap. That's fun. If you're interested, I'm sure you can find more out on the mesh, or use an induction helmet to visit Neo Tokyo yourself. It's a trip, especially for newbies. Gosh, that'd be wild. A whole world built on like, not only in from like a more isolated culture, like Japan is a conservative culture, like they explained, but then insulated further, like this is degrees of isolation, right? This is where your memes start to build on your memes, and you get like Tumblr culture then has its own middle subcultures. That, but an entire virtual reality world. Like, you'd have to go into a space and have to understand the spaces that it was built out of in order to even comprehend why it existed or what you're looking at. Like, ugh, that sounds nasty and fun and exciting and weird. Culture's funny, isn't it? Tell me about yourself. Yeah, let's get a name. I never introduced myself. I'm Ramona. I love all the purples and pinks happening here. And it's all held together, all in the center by the blue and gold stone in the middle. So like all these textures, there's a ton that are overlapping. There's the, I know this is all 16-bit, but there's more of a cloth textile up here. There's the ruffles going on down here, giant bow, small little wool bows up top, lots of hair, but it all kind of can come together into this center because the stone pulls it all together as the secondary color. You can see the blue matches the blue of the inside of the ruffle. It all works. It all works together. This purple matches this purple tone. The pinks highlights match this over here. But yeah, it's the blue that pulls it all together. Makes this character pop really nice. Ramona! I guess there isn't much to tell. I went to college, got a degree, took out a loan, bought this place. Now I spend my days trying to find enough time and money to sustain my crippling addiction to VR dramas. Same. I love cute things and justice. In another life, I'm pretty sure I'd be a magical girl. So it's like magical girl and justice dramas. What else? Pretty much don't leave the store. And you don't seem pleased about the human revolution. Look, I'm all for free speech, so I don't really want to run them off or anything. They've got the right to protest. I just want to know that once they're done with the hybrids, they'll be coming for me next. Really? So, I'll be voting appropriately. I swear to any god that'll listen. If I have to unclog the toilet one more time, I'll lose my damn mind. Why would they come after you? Oh, because of a cybernetic arm and leg. Thanks to an auto cab crash when I was a kid. Never mind my neural links for VR interfacing. Oh, I guess I didn't even totally notice that, but cool. Definitely, like, they purposely have that like arm sticking way out of the side to put her into a position. Like, this is really good posing here. A position of authority, kind of bored, but also working. And her arm's a little shinier on one side. Like, that's cool. It's got gold and white in it. Like she's some kind of Blaze Blue character. Or like a Guilty Gear character. If it were up to those Neo-Luddites, I'd be stuck in a wheelchair right now, or worse, depending on how far back they want to push our medical technology. See, this is what I'm saying! This is what I'm saying, is that these all of these problems come together. They're using the cyberpunk futuristic setting in order to force you into very intersectional situations where the politics are purposely slammed together to be sometimes simplified, like analogous. This does kind of cause a simplification of things, but it's important. Like the reason they're trying to do this is to be like all these things that come up interact with each other, and they're all virtually on the same like political side of things. The threats to them are all very similar. So whether you have a cybernetic arm, whether your DNA is spliced, however you change your identity or manage your identity to be more yourself, or if you need it or if you don't need it, all of you are on this kind of same side, right? So it's funny because the human revolution is obviously not a revolution. They're trying to maintain a status quo. That's the irony here. Meanwhile, everybody else is thrown into this idea of complicating what is human when they are the most human people, because they are having these sometimes traumatic experiences, life experiences, experience of oppression that actually formulate a more human experience into them. So we have Ramona right here, who has a very human experience, has likes, has dislikes, has things that make her the way she is, that come from her past, and she has goals. We go outside, we talk to, what's his butt? Brian Buttberry. Brian, when you talk to him, he's a cardboard box. He's this 2D character. He has no likes, he has no needs, he has no wants. He has the wants and goals of the human revolution. He's a performer, he's a character, he's fake. And so it's really funny being able to talk to both of these characters side by side and be like, okay, here's a person who's being oppressed by the human revolution. They are a human. They are revolutionarily a human. Here is the human revolution that are not people. They are cardboard signs on the side of a road. They have wants and needs as a group, and it's important to identify and understand that what they are looking for in the world is important, and their life is their worldview is important, and that they are important, but they're not individuals. So to disseminate the discourse between those is since they don't let you, and you can't, it doesn't matter, right? It's just really great. It's a really fun juxtaposition. I'm loving it. Anyways, thank you for letting me ramble for a second. This is cool stuff happening. Okay, so it's illegal for me to have a rocket-powered fist. Ramona's like, but why can't I have a rocket-powered fist? No auto fists. I would love to see the legislation that went into that. President Barack Obama signing the bill like, nope, can't have any rocket-powered fists. Not for any of us. Nope, not today. That's illegal now. I've had too many accidents. Okay, cool. How about let's get back to the climate control ROM. Yeah, okay.